let's pivot over to our main focus point, and that is about the great wealth transfer. And this is a kind of major implications for the broader economy. You have $80 trillion mainly held by baby boomers, and they're trying to figure out how to pass on their wealth. Either give it to their kids now or wait until they pass. And there was a recent study done by Charles Schwab. That's our broker, but pretty interesting with this study. Nearly half of high net worth baby boomers, this is ages between 60 and 79, with more than $1 million in investable assets. Okay, nearly half say they plan to hold on to their wealth during their lifetime, meaning not pass that on to the next of kin. And for two main reasons. One, the rising cost of healthcare. And number two, living longer. The fact that they feel like they're going to live longer than their parents. And it makes them unsure of how much they should hold on to versus give away. That's in stark contrast. Now the ages are very different, but stark contrast to Gen Xers and Millennials. 97% of them say they want to share their wealth while they're still alive. So big difference here. Okay. And this also has a big difference in asset allocation. Right? If you're going to hold on to your wealth, you're typically in your 70s, 80s. Are you going to be in equities? Probably not as much. Right? So you might start transitioning that to safer vehicles, money markets, bonds, etc. Gold, maybe. And as opposed to if you pass that on to the next of kin, they might invest in equities because their time horizon might be longer. So that's one potential shift here. But ultimately, one of the main reasons that they don't know whether they can pass on their wealth is because most of them have not actually created a plan, a goals-based plan, something we do for our clients, saying, okay, here's one goal, which is paying for healthcare. What's the likely cost of that? What about buying a second home? What about living to 100? All of these can be easily planned out with the right tools, software, etc. And needs to be consistently updated, which, once again, takes a little work. But what's interesting here is that high net worth millennials and Gen Xers are more than twice as likely to share their wealth with the next generation over their lifetime. And one of the big reasons is because most of the younger people are cognizant of the luck that they had in life. And they tend to be more giving. At least that's what they're saying. Now, Schwab's data says that majority of boomers are planning to only distribute about 40% of their assets while they're living. And only a quarter of Americans with children have discussions about their generational wealth, what to do with the money. And even when they do, most of the time it's very vague and it's not properly laid out. It's one reason we pay for wills and trusts for our clients through trust and will, is so that it's laid out. You can share your password with your next of kin, so they know exactly where to get the documents, for example. And what's interesting here is that younger generations are actually getting better at this than the older generation. 63% of wealthy individuals are starting to plan before the age of 45. You know, I always say it's never too early to start saving and investing. It's also never too early to lay out these plans. And so this is a very interesting study. I loved going over it because just different mindsets for different generations, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's really about planning, modeling it, understanding what the likely outcome is, as opposed to kind of shots in the dark. And so that's why I encourage everyone, get a plan, build a plan. There are some tools online. Most advisors have better tools. I know we have better tools. But don't be afraid to put the plans on paper, share it with the next of kin, whatever that is, so that your wishes are are executed on effectively.